Is it on? I'm on? I'm live? Okay. Hello. Welcome to my first ever Facebook Live. My name is Krista Cloutier. I'm from The Working Artist, and I am really terrified. I don't do Facebook Lives. I had no intention of doing a Facebook Live. I don't know why I'm here, except I wanted to challenge myself. Ugh. So here I am, my first Facebook Live. Please be patient with me. I think it's going to go fine. The reason I'm so freaked out about it is because the only time I ever did a live webinar, I was doing it in London to a group of artists. It was live in person, but it was also live being broadcast all over the world. And we were in this office building, and the office building actually started on fire. And the smoke detectors went off, and we had to evacuate, run out of the building. And I'm holding my laptop, and I've got my students following me, and we're running down the street. Where can we find some Wi-Fi? And I found a students' union that had free Wi-Fi, so I went there, and they let us finish in their lobby, which was incredibly loud and busy, and probably the worst place in the world to hold a webinar. So let's just hope my house doesn't start on fire while we're doing this. But I think we'll be okay. Okay, Krista, breathe. My name is Krista Cloutier. I'm from The Working Artist. I know I said that already, but I am nervous. But I'm going to talk to you today about something that won't make me nervous, but it's going to make me excited, because this is one of my favorite topics. It's my secret script for approaching art world decision makers. I want you to grab a pen and a paper, because you're going to want to take notes. This is going to be some game-changing stuff for you. After I finish sharing the secret script for approaching art world decision makers, I'm going to take your questions. I'm really excited about that. I want to hear your questions about my script, questions about your own art practice, questions about the Working Artist Masterclass, which, by the way, opens its doors this year on May 21st. We only open our doors once a year now for registration. And we open our doors this Monday and start delivering the modules. You have lifetime access to them, so you don't have to worry about falling behind or anything like that. It's all managed very slowly, so you don't get overwhelmed, and the materials are already always there. Okay. Let me get started on our lesson today. I wanted to start out by telling you about, I've got my friend Monica here helping me and she's laughing at me. Sorry. I want to tell you a little bit about myself and how I got to this script. Like you, I'm an artist. I went to art school. I got a degree in art. And then I went and I got my master's degree in religious studies. The reason I did that is kind of a long story, but I wanted my interest in religions and the world's religions and the history of religions to feed my work as an artist. But when I graduated, I found myself with a lot of student loan, and I wasn't really sure what to do next. I wasn't really sure where to take this. I was very surprised, and this might surprise you too, to find out there are no HR departments out there actively looking for someone with degrees in art and religious studies. Go figure. It seems I was overeducated, and the only thing I felt qualified for was really good dinner party conversation. But never underestimate the power of really good dinner party conversation, because I was at a really good dinner party when I met a man named Joe Segura, who was the founder of Segura Art Studios. This is an art studio with a national reputation for the technical quality of their work, as well as the caliber of artists who came through there and worked with them at the studio. It was an incredible opportunity for me. So I had told Joe I needed a job. He asked me if I knew anything about selling art. I did not. He gave me a job anyway. I was the part-time assistant to the sales manager, which was kind of a glorified internship position. But it turns out that selling art was my secret superpower. Who knew? I was really good at it. Because within 1 year, I had been promoted through the ranks of the company to become director, which was a position that I held for over a decade. So I won't go into any big details about what Segura Art Studio was or who we worked with or what we did. Let's just say it was super cool. It was a super, super cool time in my life. And I loved it. And I learned a lot about the art business and about the art world, because the way the studio made money was through the sale of art. And that was my job. I sold to museums. I sold to galleries. I sold to collections, interior designers, whatever, all over the world. A lot of artists tell me that they find it really difficult to support themselves through the sale of their art. I totally get that. Try supporting an entire studio, employees, rent, overhead, through the sale of art. That was my job. It was really stressful. I opened a gallery too, so I learned how to sell to the public. I was always creating new marketing campaigns. I was always trying to find new ways to sell work. But I'll tell you what, I sold the majority of the work through cold calling. That's right, picking up the telephone and having those soul-destroying conversations with strangers. And if you think it's easy to sell art over the telephone to strangers, you would be mistaken. It's not. You know, when I started, I thought it was going to be impossible. I didn't really know how I could make this work. So what I did was I went to visit an art dealer. I identified the art dealer who I thought was the best in town. And I took her to lunch and I picked her brain about what she could tell me about the art business. And she said that the art business, like any business, is all about relationships. That really said a lot to me. The art business is about relationships. So then I went back to my cold calls and what I was saying to people, and I started to think about them differently. I started to think about how I could approach these calls as relationship builders instead of just trying to sell something. Now, I know you're saying, oh, but I don't sell work over the phone. Doesn't matter. This same script works in emails. This same script works in person. The same script works in letters. So get your pen ready because we're going to go through it, okay? Step 1, research. Research. You want to research the people that you're approaching first. That's the most important key, in fact. You don't want to just blindly sell to everyone. You want to know the person that you're approaching. You know, when I sold art, artists wrote to me all the time, here's my work, will you sell it? I had a gallery where I was showing works on paper, photographs, drawings, prints, that kind of stuff. Yet sculptors would come in, dragging a big metal piece. Hey, here's my work, will you sell it? I don't sell sculptures. I sell works on paper. People do this all the time. They think that just because someone sells art, it means they should sell their art. But let me tell you, gallerists, curators, even interior designers, they all have their own aesthetic. They all have their own area of interest. And you want to pinpoint that so you're approaching the right people. And that's the first reason why you're researching them. So you can make sure you've got a right fit. You're actually vetting them to make sure that they are a right fit for your work. You don't want your work... Can you hear me?
No.
Turn this up. I hope you all can hear me. Sorry, Monica threw me there with that. She said you couldn't hear me. I'm hoping you can. Put something in the comment bar if you can't and let her know. You can't hear me? No one can hear me?
George says that he wishes that his caption could say that.
I don't know what to say about that. We did the test and everything sounded okay. I'm sorry. Okay, Chico can hear me. If Chico can hear me, I'm good. Okay, George, turn up your volume. Sorry. Okay, so where was I? So research, so you're actually vetting them. That's why you're doing your research. But the other reason you're doing your research is for the next step. And that's when you actually start putting together your script. The first paragraph of your script, it's not going to be a long paragraph, it's going to be a short paragraph of your script. If you're speaking it, it's just a few sentences, but it's going to be, are you ready? Write this down, a compliment. You want to compliment the art world decision maker. Show them that you know who they are, what they do, and that you appreciate it. So, for example, if it's a museum curator, maybe in your research, and you can let me go back a step, you can research on LinkedIn, Facebook, like look at all their social media, Google them, look at the website of the gallery, find out as much information as you can. So when you make that compliment, it's true. Maybe you have actually read their book. If they've written a book, I would make it a point to read their book before you ever reach out to them. And then tell them, I read your book, I really enjoyed it. If you've seen a show that they've curated or that's in their gallery, tell them. Get as real as you can in your compliment. And if you don't have that opportunity to really see something they've done, just compliment them on what they have, on their aesthetic, compliment them on something you've heard about them. But the point is to start with something nice. People love to hear good things about themselves, and they will be much more apt to read the rest of your email if you've started off with a compliment rather than, here's my website, will you sell my work? Okay? So your next paragraph, paragraph number 2, is going to be, no, you're good. You're good. Monica, read that. Your next paragraph is showing the connection. So you've complimented them. Now show them a connection. Why should they keep reading? What do you have in common? Do you know someone in common? Are they showing an artist who you have shown with? Do they have someone working there who you know? Did you meet them once at a party? Any kind of connection at all. Once I used a connection, there was a curator, and on some social media thing, I saw something she had posted about her dog, which was a Dalmatian, and I had a Dalmatian. So I actually included that as part of the connection. I know you have a Dalmatian, I have a Dalmatian, I'm attaching a photo, and you know what? It makes you more human when there's a real human connection, and that actually worked. So without getting creepy, without making them feel like you're stalking them, you don't want to do that, but you want to show them what that connection is. Why are you writing to them? And then your third paragraph, which is your final paragraph, are you ready for it? The ask. What is it that you want? What are you asking them? Too many artists just do the first two and then they stop right there. What do you want? What do you want from me? I wonder that all the time. Don't make me have to guess. Don't make me have to take the next step. Give me the next step. I think one of the best asks you can do is, could you please tell me your submission policy? That's easy. And is it possible, if you can, is it possible I could come in and show you my portfolio? You could ask that too. Give them an option of both. So your third paragraph is your ask. All right? So we've got the relationship. You're going to do your research so you can have a relationship and you're not just approaching someone blindly. You're going to compliment them. You're going to show them the connection. And you're going to ask them for what it is you want. Being sure to leave your contact details. Now, like I said, you can use this script in emails. You can use this script in person. Very good in person. You can use it in cold calling. It's funny, everybody does emails these days. Emails, I think, are in my hierarchy. Emails are at the very bottom because everybody gets too many emails. It's much easier to hit delete than it is to have to think. I think we all have that. So I think the strongest way to approach an art world decision maker is in person. And if you're going to do this in person, follow this script, make it very, very fast. Be in their face, give them a compliment, tell them the connection, ask. And that's it. You're in, you're out. You're not monopolizing their time and energy and overwhelming them. So in person, I think, is the strongest way to do anything, to ask for something. I think letters are still really strong because, like, when's the last time you got something in the mail? I'm not saying send them your portfolio or, a whole submission. I am saying just a letter with an image, even just one image, something nice. That's always a surprise now. I'm always surprised when I get something in the mail. Calling, I think that still has a place, although a lot of people are uncomfortable talking on the phone these days. But emails I would put at the very bottom. Emails, phone, it could be kind of easy depending on the decision maker and how comfortable they are talking on the phone. And then I have one last step that's kind of my secret step, my secret sauce, we could call it, that really catapults your ask to success. And that is, are you ready for it? The follow-up. Follow up. Tell them that you're going to follow up. So you say, this is my ask. I want to know your submission policies, or can I come in with my portfolio? Let me know. Here's my contact details. I know you're busy. If I don't hear from you in 2 weeks, I'll follow up. That's all you have to say. But then you have to actually do it. You have to actually follow up. But I'll tell you what, that is often the difference between who gets in the door and who doesn't get in the door. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? The person who follows up is the person who gets the attention. Now, how much do you follow up? I used to follow up until somebody asked me to stop. And to be honest, people rarely ask me to stop. Mostly people thanked me for my persistence because people get busy and they want to connect with you. They want to look at your work, but they don't know how to make the space. So if you can respectfully follow up, giving them plenty of time, not pushing them, certainly not giving them ultimatums. That's the worst, when someone gives you an ultimatum. So don't do that. But follow up politely and ask if you can follow up again. Or in fact, if you meet them in person, ask if, can I follow up? Is it okay? So that's just a little secret sauce that's really going to be helpful for you. All right, I'm excited to get to your questions. Before I do, let's have a quick word from our sponsor, which is the Working Artist Masterclass. Like I said, we open our doors on the 21st of May, which is Monday. Registration is going on now for just a few days only. I have a super secret code for you, a discount code that you can use. That code is, ready for it? Grab your paper and pencil. You want to write it down. Facebook. Use the code Facebook when you're checking out and you'll get a 10% discount. This code is valid until Sunday, so take advantage of that. I hope if you have any questions about the Working Artist Masterclass, do ask me in the comments because I definitely want to answer them. And let's get to my first question. Monica, what have we got?
Let's see.
I'm not as nervous anymore, thank you.
Just wanted to know, how is the Working Artist different from other online programs for artists?
Okay, great question. Jesse wants to know, how is the Working Artist different from other online programs? There's a couple ways that the Working Artist is different. I think, firstly, it's my experience, if I'm honest. I don't want to sound braggy, but I think a lot of online coaches have an area in which they work. They've been an artist or they've had a gallery. It's something like that. They've been in one area. My own experience, I've been very, very blessed in my career. I've done it all. I've been a licensor. I've been a curator. I've curated lots and lots of shows. I've written about art. I've written artist catalogs. But the majority of my experience that I find has served other artists through the Working Artist Masterclass is working at Segura Art Studios, because I was just like any other artist, selling to galleries, selling to museums, selling to corporate collections. And 1 week out of every month, I would travel to a different market, sometimes a city, sometimes a town, and I would meet all of the galleries and the curators and the designers and even the artists in that market. And I would really immerse myself in there. And I had so many incredible conversations about the business from every player's point of view. And because I had a gallery, I also learned what the gallerist's point of view is. So I think I've got a real different background that serves me and helps me in helping artists. The other way the Working Artist is different than other online programs is that a lot of these online programs are kind of piecemeal. You know, you can learn about social media, you can learn about toolkits, you can learn about approaching decision makers, you can learn about websites. It's bits and bobs, and a lot of times it's upselling. The Working Artist is totally comprehensive. I taught the class on the road, in person for over a year. I put everything I could think of in it, and then I captured every single question that artists had for me as I was teaching it, so I could make it as comprehensive as possible. It covers every aspect of the art business that I could think of and that has come on my radar. And I'm constantly upgrading it too. In fact, we just made a 4-hour bonus session on art fairs, and I gave it to each of my alumni for free. Why did I do that? Because I want my working artists to have a comprehensive education. I want them to be the best prepared of any artists out there. I'm not interested in upselling. That's just not how I want to spend my time. I have other things to do. That's why I only open the Working Artist once a year, is because I want to focus on the things that I love. And upselling is not part of that. So once you are a working artist, you are a working artist for life, and you will continue to benefit from anything that I add to the program. Great question, thanks. I'm going to have a sip of water while she reads me the next question.
Jesse says, also, what happens during coaching calls?
Okay, another question from Jesse. What happens during coaching calls? Coaching calls are actually my favorite part of the Working Artist. It's where the students, the artists, get to call in. There's like a central number that everyone calls in, and I'm there, and I give a little free lesson. I talk about, something that's come up or something I've just learned, and so we do that, and then I open up the phones, and anyone can ask me their questions about their practice, about challenges, about this week's lesson, and everyone can hear me and hear them. I will unmute your phone, and we can have a conversation about it. If you can't make the call, you will have emailed me your question, and then I'll read it out loud, and I'll answer the question, and it is actually a lot of fun. Excuse me. And it's also fun because you get to see hear, you don't see, but you hear the other people who are in on the course. We have something called the Working Artist Network, where all the artists can come together and post their websites and comment on materials and really support each other and form relationships. But a lot of that is just, it's just online. But to actually put a voice to someone, that's kind of cool. We did an alumni pop-up coaching call last week. We do a lot of those because I do love coaching calls. And we had people on there from England, from Canada, from Hong Kong. We had someone from Iran. It was really exciting and really interesting. So that's why I love the coaching calls. I don't know why I love coaching calls so much, but Facebook Live completely freaks me out. But I'm doing okay.
Shonda said, is this mainly for artists who want to work full-time? She's recently retired and just beginning.
Okay, great question. Shonda wants to know if this is just for artists who are interested in working full-time. You can take this anywhere you want. A lot of artists are able to quit their day job and become full-time working artists. Sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes it takes a while to build that. a lot of it depends on your market and your work. But other artists don't want to quit their day jobs, or they don't want to be a, like 40 hours a week full-time artist. So really, I think what it's doing is it's giving you the tools and the information so you're not wasting time. So you've got the right materials, you've got your direction set, I've asked you the right questions so you know where you want to go, you know who to approach, you know how to approach them, what to say, what to show them, and you know how to talk about your work. You know how to put together a website. So what you want to do, how far you want to take this is really up to you. Now, we have a lot of very, very beginning artists in the working artist class, and we also have a lot of established artists. The art world has changed. Since 2008, it's changed so fast, and it continues to change very, very quickly. The rules change, the players change. So someone who was showing and selling consistently for years suddenly finds himself getting stuck and worrying that, oh, maybe my work's not relevant anymore. That's not necessarily true. It's just that the game's changed. And sometimes you're doing the same things over and over, and it's very helpful to dust off your materials and take a look at where you're going and start again, start afresh. Thank you.
Shauna would like to know, do you ever have guest speakers?
Shauna wants to know if we ever have guest speakers. Yes, we do. Some of our bonus programs are brought in by other people, by guests. Some really exciting people. We have surprise guests coming in. So yeah, it's not just me all the time. Thank God. There's going to be other people there too. Did you refresh that? I thought I saw some questions coming by on the page.
It's Cassandra says she helped with some reviews for artists to open their comfortable habits.
Was that a question?
It's not a question.
Okay. I think that's all of our questions. That's what Monica's telling me. She's saying that's all of our questions, which is fine. You can certainly email me. You can Facebook message me if you have any questions. I want to thank you if you're watching this live. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you too. Please like it. Please share it with your artist friends and your artist communities if you think it's been of value. I really hope that you do use my secret script for approaching art world decision makers, because I promise you it is going to be a game changer. You are really going to get on people's radar. And again, don't forget, the secret code is Facebook. Right? Facebook and the coupon line, and you're going to get 10% off the working artist. Our doors open on Monday for the first module. Take it at your own pace. There's no stress. I really hope we get a chance to work together. Thanks. My first Facebook Live. Yay! I lived. Yay!